All right. So, hi, everybody. My name is Manuel Diaz. I am a graduating senior this year. My major is accounting, of course. This is my first internship position that I held through my years of Oglethorpe, and it was with Brooks McGinnis, and I really enjoyed the experience, and it allowed me to learn a lot in the process. So, just a little bit about Brooks McGinnis. We are a privately held CPA firm. We were founded in 1976, and it's very local. We're in the Sandy Springs area around the 400 highway. It's a very small CPA firm. We have a total of about 50 staff members. We operate on one floor, and just recently we started operating on one floor, and we have about 20 CPAs on staff currently. So just a few basic services that Brick McGinnis offers. Obviously, we have your basic accounting. We offer tax services, audit services, and also consulting and assurance services. As a smaller firm, I really feel like we have a really big focus on just your basic individual and businesses. Since we are so small, it allows us to be able to necessarily maintain the best relationships with our clients. And this way, it helped me improve myself as a professional since I had more hand-on-hand interactions with clients. The type of services we offer, here's a short list. We specialize working with nonprofits, of course, your individuals, your trusts and estates, and also your privately held corporations. A huge focus that the firm does is with nonprofits. We have a saying of we have a passion for serving others based on the increased scrutiny on nonprofit organizations up to date with the IRS guidelines. We find it necessary, critical to help our nonprofit organizations as necessary as we can in order for them to be able to continue to function normally day by day. So one really good thing I enjoyed about Brooks McGinnis it was their mission statement. I found it very applicable because it says our mission statement is to provide innovative accounting, audit, and tax and financial compliance with the exceptional value and superior value. And basically, I saw this by achieving. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's happening. And I saw this by understanding client needs and expectations. Since I told you we're a small firm, we're able to do that much more closely with our clients. And then also the fostering of the staff. Personally, I felt like I bloomed as an intern myself because everybody was just on hands on deck, willing to help me out wherever I needed. And I was always doing the same for them. My basic duties and responsibilities included obviously preparing tax returns and the necessary paperwork and work papers, organizing client documents, and being able to manage and maintain client financial statements. And we used a variety of Thomson Reuters softwares, which you see here. For preparing tax returns, we used a system called UltraTax. This is very user-friendly. It allows you to have a very nice input screen, and not only it shows you a preview, but also when you're preparing the tax return, it allows for you it gives you a sidebar telling you what necessary steps you need to go through as far as labeling them as critical, non-critical, and etc. We used for organizing documents that were mailed by clients, we used a system called File Cabinet CS. This is basically just your electronic file cabinet that allowed you to store every work papers, past tax returns, and things of that nature. Another part of my duties was using what we called Advanced Flow. So this is a new system fairly to us that we started using just when I got put on. We used to use just a basic software, but this is cloud-based. So during my time, I had to do a lot of importing, and this basically just sets up your typical trial balances that we can transfer over to our tax returns. So a basic value of my value into the internship, it allows me to apply critical, obviously, things that I've learned in class, gain experience in the field since this was my first internship, and not only allow me to practice my professionalism and networking as well. just a few classes that I could relate back to during the process of my internship was obviously income tax based on individuals. This really gave me a solid foundation in order to be able to do majority of the work that I was doing, along with intermediate 1 and 2, financial accounting, of course, and cost and managerial accounting. So learned objectives that I had with the company, it was obviously being able to work individually, but then as a whole, being able to come uh, collectively, and also being able to communicate effectively, especially during the times that we just faced with COVID-19. And speaking of the pandemic, I also had to work remotely. This was totally a new experience for me. I had concerns about being able to get questions answered, but we were very organized in the way we described what methods we would go through. And we really used Microsoft Teams a lot, which proved very, very beneficial to me. And so, of course, the internship process, I actually went through the entire process with our A lab, which was a huge plus in gaining all the necessary things I would need for the internship process. Obviously, my resume was not the best polished, so I had to start from scratch. I worked with Stephanie personally throughout the whole process, and after a few multiple drafts, I was able to really get a polished resume, which allowed me to further pursue applications. Also, networking was a really big thing. We hold a yearly or every semester we hold an accounting reception, and I previously met Brooke McGinnis there, so that I was already a familiar face to them. And also with the career fair provided by the A Lab, which is very well as well. Interview prep. So like I said before, I did a majority of my practicing with Stephanie. We did mock interviews, which obviously helping me with a list of potential questions. I was able to research the firm and be able to have knowledge based on what they offered. And also I had to prepare my own professional questions for the interviewer. Connections. So the way I got my internship was actually through Stephanie. She used my department head. She knew they used to work together. Her name was Gretchen. And so she was asking around and seeing if anybody had any available positions. And this is how I got offered the position with Brooks McGinnis. And so recommendation, with Brooks McGinnis personally, I would definitely recommend. It's a very diverse and welcoming diverse culture there. Everyone is always on board to ask you any potential questions. I could literally pop into any office and anybody would be willing to help me. And then, like I said, obviously, constant support and guidance. I felt like as my first internship, that's what I really needed, and it definitely proved beneficial. And obviously, I would recommend any student considering internship. It's very valuable for future employment opportunities. As myself, I was offered a full-time position already. Applying your majors courses so you just don't feel like you're sitting in a classroom, and then for being able to build your confidence as a whole as a professional.